Welcome back, Wildcats. All right, so today we're looking at, make sure I say this right. Yep, Tuesday square root regressions, and that's going to be on page 47. So if you would, pause the video and update your table of contents. All right, now that your table of contents are updated, let's take a look at our notes. All right, so these should look familiar. The steps to the square root regression is almost identical to the quadratic regression. All right, so square root regression inspire steps. Step 1, press the on button. Step 2, select 1, new document. Step 3, select no if asked. Sometimes you're not asked, but if asked, do you want to save unsaved document? Step 4, add list and spreadsheet. Step 5, complete the table. Now I'm assuming by now you kind of realized as you're reading the steps, pause and then write down, or pause and write down, however, whatever works for you. Now, there's a little bit of a warning here. Do not use points with x equals 0, y equals 0. I don't know why, but for some reason, whoever programmed it didn't program it so that it would work for regressions when you have a point when x is 0, y is 0. Okay, so don't do it. Don't use it. Okay, step 6, press Control Doc. Step 7, select 5, add data and statistics. Step 8, press Tab X Enter, Tab Y Enter. And when you do that, make sure, because this is the number one mistake I see, X is here and Y is here. Okay? Make sure that X is here and Y is here. Step 9, press Menu for Analyze, 6 Regression, and then step 10, press 7 for Show Power. All right, so if you would, finish up your notes. All right, so assume your notes are finished up, so let's take a look at our examples. Now, at this point in the video, okay, now if you were fortunate that your parents got you an Inspire for Christmas, then you're just going to work and basically finish this while you're watching the video. If not, what I would probably do is watch it, just so you're kind of familiar with it, but then rewatch this part of the video when you get into class and then get the examples down. Okay? All right. Or when you get near, or wherever you're near an Inspire. So, yeah. All right. So let's look at it. Let's look at example number 1 and example number 2. And this is going to be on page 47. All right. So I'm going to have to move the paper away, and I'm going to put the Inspire in front. Just know that we're working on example number 1. Okay? All right, let me zoom in on the screen. Let's see if I can a little unblur. All right, so I'm going to press on. Now this is all right, so press the test. We're going to press enter, ignore that. And then we're going to press on, new document. And then we're going to, let me get my steps here. All right, so select 1 new document, and then we're going to, we weren't asked for unsaved document, so we're going to go to number 4, add list and spreadsheet. And then we're going to see step 5, complete the table. So X, Y, don't forget the X and Y. This is a common mistake students do. If you don't put X and Y, it doesn't know what columns the data is in. All right, so example 1 is 0. But wait a second. Warning, warning. You can't use the point with 0. So I'm going to mark out the point with the 0. Don't use that, okay? All right, so the next point we're going to use is 1, 4, 9, 16, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then the next step is to press Control Doc, so Control Doc, and then step 7 is add data and statistics, and then step 8 is tab X, enter, tab Y, enter. All right, and then step 9 is press menu, number 4, analyze, number 6, regression, and then step 10, show power. Now, on your paper, it's kind of a Y. I'm in a kind of a Y mood lately. So put Y right here in this little blank spot right here. And I want you to put down why we're going to use the show power. Okay, because square root doesn't seem like a power. So why are we using the show power feature? So write down a little sentence and explain why we're using the show power feature for regression. All right. So there you go. And you're going to write that down. And we're going to talk about the show power and explain this answer, why it is in that form. Okay. So that kind of is a hint to explain why there. So there is example number 1. So we're going to write that down. So y equals 1 times x to the 0.5 power. And then we're also going to talk about, it says, in the instructions, write the regression equation given the points from the table and state if it models the square root. So you're going to put here yes or no, and in this case, I'm going to say it is yes, it models the square root, but we're going to talk about why and what that 0.5 means. So again, write down why we're using show power and kind of that talk about the 0.5, and we'll talk about it in class. All right, so let's look at example number 2. So following the steps, press on, new document. Now it asked, do you want to say no, we don't want to do that. And then number 4, add list of spreadsheets. And then don't forget X and Y. Okay, and then example number 2 is warning, warning. You'll see here we have the point 0.02. Mark that out. Don't use 0.2. Okay. So then we're going to put in the values 1, 4, 9, 16, and 2, 4, 5, 4. Okay? And then step 4 says, we're actually on to 4. We complete the table, so now we're on to 6. So control doc. Step 7, add data and statistics. And then step 8 is tab X enter. So tab X enter, tab Y enter. And then step 9, menu, 4, analyze, 6, regression, and 7, show power. All right. So we're going to write that down. Y equals, and we're going to write it down. We're going to round our number to the thousandths place. So that's 2.260 x to the 0.285. Now, I'm going to say that's no, and you have to remind me to explain, and we need to talk about why example number 1 is yes, and example number 2 is not a square root regression. All right. So with that, make sure in class we talk about why example 1 is yes and why example 2 is no. And also we need to talk about the show power, why we're using show power. Okay. So remind me of those 3 things. And you might even write those down just as a little note. Like here you might put like 1, 2, and 3. You just might put those 3 things I was talking about, like right there, just to remind me, okay? But with that, that should get you Started with the square root regressions, and I just like to say, may the luck be with you, Wildcats.